The North of 40 Club is now open. We're redefining and simplifying health after 40. If you've found yourself frustrated, confused, and overwhelmed by the nonstop Google searches and coming up empty handed, if you're confused and frustrated by the contradicting information, join us in the club where we have a community to discuss things with your symptoms with. We've got a growing library of Pilates and yoga videos that you can have access to 24/7, monthly masterclasses to teach you about what WTF is going on with your body, plus a monthly Q&A where you can come in with questions and get straight answers to your questions minus the Google searches. Book clubs where we recommend books monthly and discuss it based on what your needs are, what stands out to you, community of like-minded women to support you through all of this, and nonstop resources and discounts to wellness tools, applications, and everything you need going forward as we age north of 40. Plus, it has to be fun, so we've got games and prizes and giveaways for everyone's participation and excitement within the club. This is only $33 a month right now, so I would hop in. You get a 7-day free trial to pop in, check it out, see if you like it, see if it works for you. On top of that, you will be learning as I learn, because as I go through my naturopathic doctor program, I will be sharing what I learn as it relates to longevity for women north of 40, to our brain health, and to our hormones, which are all huge and important factors. So join us in the North of 40 Club. Find the link below or find it on the website, nataliesayeswtf.com. Hello and welcome to another episode of WTF Happened to My Body. I am your host, Natalie Garay, and this is number 4 of 6 episodes that I am recording for this series related to the launch of my first book that is being published on January 28th, 2025. 3 years in the making. It is finally almost here. Pre-orders are available and it will be available on all major online retailers. You can find it there. So this episode, we're talking about diastasis recti. WTF is a diastasis recti. And for those of you who have it, you know exactly what it is. And you're probably not thrilled about it, mostly because of its appearance. But my main concern about it is that it makes for a weakened abdominal and therefore makes the rest of your body work harder, which is probably causing more aches and pains to your body, to your spine, to your shoulders, to your neck. And that is my concern. But I get it. I understand. I have had several clients who have come to me because they have an abdominal wall separation. And so what this can look like, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, is a diastasis recti, or abdominal separation, is a separation in your linea alba, which is this center fascia layer in your rectus abdominals. Your rectus abdominals are the top layer of your abdominals, the superficial layer, the six-pack abs, if you will. And so sometimes pregnant women will experience a separation here. It could be above the belly button. Sometimes it's below the belly button. Sometimes it happens during pregnancy, maybe sometimes after. But I mean, we are growing a human in our abdominals. Our belly does stretch. The muscles are stretched. So an abdominal wall separation can certainly happen. I remember having a client, and I talk about this story in the book, who came to me at the recommendation of her midwife. And I found that the clients that came who had doulas or midwives had recommendations that were referred to me. They were more, I don't even know what the word is. They were more likely to come to me as opposed to their OBGYN, because I think that doulas and midwives have done a little bit more research or thought process into how to support women after birth or after C-section. And so this woman came in and she was referred by her team of midwives. And her concern was that she still looked about 3 months pregnant after having her child, which at the time, I don't remember how old the child was, but I believe she had 2. And so I understood. I was like, okay, we could certainly do something about it. We will do some strengthening exercises. And with consistent practice here with me in person and at home, we can eliminate this. And that is, again, one of the main reasons why I wrote this book is because a lot of women don't necessarily know what to do or, how to fix things if there's anything available. And so what my whole point of writing this book was, I want everyone to know what's out there, what's available, what you can do for whatever your concerns are, and choose what works best for you. This is not a one size fits all. It's a what's available. This is your guidebook. Try it, see what works for you. If that one thing doesn't work for you, try something else. But here's what's available and figure out what's going to be best for you. And so she came in to my studio and we worked for a good 3 months, I think it was. And she was dedicated. She was definitely dedicated and determined. And she would practice at home and we would practice once or twice a week at the studio. And, she would get her exercise in because I gave her some home practice exercises to do as well. And then she came to me after going in to see her midwife again and her OBGYN. And she said, my gap's not there anymore. I've eliminated my gap. They tested me again today, which we could see, you can easily test it. You've probably already seen it. Like I said, if you have one, you have one. Because if you are to round forward or sit up or whatever, you might see something protruding out of your abdominal walls. And you're like, what the hell is this? Kind of looks like an alien is trying to escape from my abdomen. So the reason why it concerns me is that, like I said, it's going back to your foundation. What it means is that your abs aren't able to work optimally. They're not fully functioning. And that means that it's going to take a toll on the rest of your body. You may experience backache, hip ache, again, poor posture, chronic neck pain, sciatica pain. You're having maybe a misaligned pelvis, because our abdominals really do offer support for the entire body. And when they're separated, it's kind of like a loose link in the chain, you could say. And so with specific exercises and consistent work and patience, you can close your gap, if not completely eliminate it, reduce it, if not completely eliminate it. So in the first episode, I talked about all the different abdominal layers, but this one is particularly within the the rectus abdominis, which is your top layer and superficial layer. But you will want to incorporate all of the abdominal muscles in order to help support you. And there are exercises that you will want to avoid to start off with, which, crunches. Some will say, they are okay. Some will say no. But in my mind, if you're crunching forward, you're rounding forward, you're just exacerbating the separation. Another one that you may want to avoid, again, some will say you can do it, some will say you shouldn't, which is the plank position. Now, I can see that if you are able to be in a plank position and fully support your abdominals by lifting them up, and also at the same time keeping that gap closed, as opposed to letting your abdominals hang and exacerbating that separation, then, do the plank if you can hold them in, if that works for you. But there are certainly better, more specific and focused exercises that you could do to strengthen the abdominals and support that abdominal wall separation. Some have been told that surgery is the only way to fix an abdominal wall separation. And again, there may be some very extreme cases where that is necessary. But I stand by that you can with practice and consistency and determination, gap, if not, reduce it significantly. And going back to my last episode, I mentioned this too. Some have been stitched up, but it's painful because maybe there's some pulling, or it's just not as comfortable as what I've heard. I forget the specifics, but I remember someone saying that it was not comfortable. There was pulling and it was kind of a tight feeling. So in the book, I have mentioned, again, exercises, tools to help you eliminate that, support it, to let you know that surgery is not the only way, because I have had clients come in. I don't have patients yet, not until I get my doctorate. Clients come in and say that they were told that surgery is the only way, which, like I said, a lot of people just don't know what's available. And that was my whole point for putting this book together, this guidebook together. So this one is short and sweet, but I wanted to share that information with you on diastasis recti. And if that is something that you're experiencing and you still have questions, and or you try the exercises, but you still want more practice, then reach out to me on Instagram. I'm at Natalie Says WTF. And you can send your questions to me, ask questions. I'll send you more resources. I have 1 or 2 free videos available on YouTube that you can practice to. Also, if you purchase the book, you will have access to free resources, one of them being a trial to my North of 40 Club, which allows you access to my growing Pilates and yoga video library. There are several videos in there now. They will continue to grow, but there are videos in there that you can use to strengthen your abdominals. And again, if you have more questions about the exercises listed in the book, send them my way. I will link the book below. If you're listening to this after January 28th, the book is available on all online platforms. And I would love for you guys to send your comments to me in Instagram, or share the book and tag me in Instagram, what you're learning, what your takeaways are, what you're like, WTF, why didn't I know this? I'd love to hear from all of you. So thank you again for joining me for another episode. In the next